Single malt Scotch whisky really is the gold standard of whisky. It's really made in small batches by experienced craftsmen such as our own master distiller Dennis Malcolm.
My role is to ensure that every single drop of Glen Grant is made to a consistent high quality, so that future generations can experience it and enjoy it. I was born on site. My father and grandfather worked at Glen Grant. It was to be my life too.
Glen Grant is built on years of tradition. Brothers John and James Grant established the distillery in 1840, but it wasn't until 1872 when the ingenious Major James Grant started to put the pieces together to make whisky as it should be. Our process hasn't changed since the 1800s. We still use the same water, the same barley, and ensure that the ways of the Major are still respected.
Our passion for the craft is reflected in every detail of our production. It's a process born out of tradition and finessed over time. For example, the water we use to create our whisky is taken from the back burn right here at the distillery. Another key aspect of our process is fermenting in these enormous wooden vessels made of Oregon pine.
Using this particular wood is an essential detail which has a distinctive effect on the complex flavour notes of the finished whisky.
The stills we use for distillation are unique, tall and slender, a design originally introduced by the Major to create his desired style of single malt Scotch whisky. The whisky is aged in oak casks in the unchanging coolness of our traditional dunnage warehouses. Single malt Scotch whisky is like people. It constantly matures and is forever changing in character.
Glen Grant is unique in Speyside. It's the only distillery that actually bottles on site. Drawing on the success of our 10 years old single malt Scotch whisky, which has been recognised by the writer Jim Murray, we are introducing our new 12-year-old and extra special 18 years old expressions.
The older expressions have all the characters of the 10-year-old, but with greater floral aroma, higher strength, and a more complex flavour. What does the Brilliant Cut mean to me? It means consistent quality, right across the age expressions. We never compromise on quality and flavour.
It's also the very particular cut of spirit we take to fill our barrels. Tasting it today is just as exciting as the first time I tasted it. That is the Brilliant Cut.